What we try and replicate so often with online marketing is real face-to-face relationship building. And one of the great ways of doing that in the offline space and real data and bricks and mortar day-to-day interactions is through networking.
SME, Online Marketing Smarts, brought to you by Brown Cow Media.
A couple of my business associates, Ralph Rintoul from Citrine Developments and Ken O'Keefe from The Ultimate Suspension, invited me to film a presentation that they were making at a networking event in Sydney. To explain more about that, we have Ken O'Keefe speaking first, and then Ralph Rintoul, who gives us 10 fantastic tips for networking.
As we all know, networking is possibly the most important part for development, personal development, and business. Commercial is important, but as we all know, to have a good business association, you need a relationship. Now, where better place to start a relationship than a good networking group? I'm known as a bit of a networking junkie. I belong to probably some of the biggest networking groups, and I really believe they work. I started off with Toastmasters, and it's one of the largest networking groups in the world. As most people know, Toastmasters gives you a hand and shows you how to present and to do a presentation. But one thing I learnt is that you listen. And especially with events like this, when we have our 60-second introduction, you get to hear what everyone does. You then have the opportunity to start a relationship by booking an appointment, a coffee meet, or whatever. And at the end of the meeting, don't be scared, don't run away. Mix and mingle, because you'll learn more and people will learn more about you. With networking, it's not how many people you know, it's how many people get to know you and their associates and their friends. It's so important. If you wish to enhance your business and you wish to enhance your personal life, networking, you make a lot of friends, a lot of connections, and from that, if you do it correctly, your business and your personal life will enhance. Don't get the wrong idea. Networking is not about coming along trying to flog your products to people in the room. It's about coming along, meeting people and getting to know who you can help. By helping people, your name will get out there and people will come back and work with you. And today we have one of the biggest helpers in. Ralph is going to explain a little bit more about networking.
I'd like to thank Ken, and Ken really is a master networker. What I've done, I've only been in networking 2 years. Never did it before, and I only joined because a colleague invited me, and then I thought, this is okay, gets me out of the house. And that I always sort of conducted business the same. I haven't done much different, or anything really different, but it's the way I've noticed a lot of people work. So on your table, there's a heap of these if you want one to take home, or use it for something else. It's called Time In. Ralph's U-Butte 10-point plan to networking. So this is really good stuff. You don't have to look at it now, it's always there. Purchase price determines your waiting time for referrals. The truth is, because I sell property, it's a high ticket item. We're talking usually from $300,000 to $600,000 is my main market area. So for someone to say, hey Ralph, I'd like an investment property, I know someone, you really need to get to know, like and trust Ralph before you're going to send him somewhere. But if you've got a lower ticket item, and it might be only $50 or under $100, it's not a big deal to give a referral to that person, and you should be looking after you've been in it for a little while to start to get some referrals. And if you're no good, for example, if I had a lawn mowing franchise and I didn't take the grass away, $50 later, well, you won't get another job, and then that word will spread around and then you'll drop out. So no matter what level you're at, you have to do a good job, and you have to make sure that it's going to work for you. Attendance. Regular attendance at networking's best. A lot of people come, they don't get any referrals in 1 or 2 meetings, so they don't come back. It takes time in again. And visiting is better. If someone comes and you go visit their workplace or their home office and have a chat, you book that and get to know them, all of a sudden you're building the relationship. Now the 60-second round, unless you discover the vast, you don't, because you must listen, as Ken said, you will discover a vast range of talent within the room. not just in what they do in their business, but what they do in their hobbies and other things that they know. And one of their hobbies or other associations might be just the thing to refer business to you. We had one guy at a club that I was in when I was in Melbourne, and he got up to give a talk, and they said, "Oh, what do you do?" "Oh, I'm a forensic pathologist. I've actually take skulls and make faces out of them, and I pioneered it in Australia and it's been adopted in America." That was before the computers come in. Nobody knew that, they just thought he was some sort of doctor. Another guy, he was in the engine room of a tugboat on Port Phillip Bay, and that resulted in him getting a tug, and a whole group took their families, kids everywhere on the tug for a day, and you don't realise how large they are beneath the waterline. Really, really interesting stuff. So there's a huge wealth of talent in this room that we don't know about, and it's good to get to know that. Connect people with people. I don't come in and say, "Listen, Grace, I'm the man. Anyone know new investment property?" Done. Doesn't happen. But if I know that Grace, what she does, and Carmel, I can connect them to. Or I can put John Gregory in touch with the muscle builder here. Or I can put KENO KEEFE in touch with Kimberly. All those sorts of things. By doing that, then they say, "Well, he's not such a bad bloke. He's not trying to manipulate us." And you get to know people, and they get to know you. That's what you need to do. You're not always in it for me. You're in it for what you can help others. And when you help others, it sort of comes back to you. When you're connecting with people in the network group, everybody says, "I've got to get my database. I do this. I build databases. I send to databases." Look at this room. There's no one in this room that wouldn't be happy if they got an email from you. They might send you back and say, "Look, I don't really think that we need it, so we can disconnect." That's fine. But you've got a whole raft of databases within 4N, within other networking groups, when you go around and say, "Do you mind if I send you an email?" Free advice. Lots of times we can get free advice. So on your connections, after scrutiny, return a compliment, and they will begin to introduce you to their contacts. Then like, know and trust equals relationships. And that's the Bible of business. I don't care whether you're in networking or not. Your business is built on relationships. And if you've got a good relationship with a company and someone comes in to try and outsell you, they'll let you know, they'll even tell you the price. Because of the strength of the relationship. At face value, people come to me and say, "Oh, I'm not in the network, I've got to pay $800 or $900 and all this sort of stuff." Well, at face value, there's roughly 200 people in 4 networking. Business people. So you divide your fees by the others. Let's say it's $1,000. So you've got 200 people in that network that you can meet for free. So if it costs you $1,000, you divide 1,000 by that by 200, it costs you $5. $5 to build your database, to meet people that can help you, that you can help them. $5. Why wouldn't you? Now the bonus maximus. The really good point about networking is this. Users, takers, con artists, unethical operators. Now I am being toffee today because I was going to print low lifes, but unethical operators. Door openers do not survive in networking. They don't. And that's the good thing about networking. Most of the people, or the vast, vast majority of people, they will all get weeded out. All get weeded out. And that's a really good thing, that you know that someone's not going to try and bury you or can you or something like that, you know, or take advantage of you. And it was really interesting at one of Ed's Irish pub nights, there was 2 guys turned up. One came up, and I'd invited a business friend who is in a nearly 7-figure salary, and we were talking because he was coming out to help me with some stuff that we want to do overseas. This guy just comes up in the middle of the conversation, just, "Excuse me, you've got your card, here's my card." I said, "Excuse me, mate, we're having a chat here." Then the next day, everyone at the meeting got spammed by this clown, so he won't be back. And one other guy, he came around and he had got the iPad. "This is what I do. Look at this." You had to look. He wasn't going away without you took a look at what he did. and then the next day, I get an email from him. "It was great to meet a like-minded bro." So now I'm a bro. Quickly, and when you deliver the keynote address, you're 10 minutes. We tend to underestimate the 10 minutes. A lot of people give a really great 10-minute talk and then they leave. You always leave them with something. That's the only reason I printed this form. Normally, if I do a presentation, I put it in a binder and a cover, and even if they throw it away, it doesn't matter, or they leave it on the table, you'll know that a lot of people will take that, and if they ever get it out, there you are with your presentation, with your card on it, so that you always present something as professionally as you can. And if you can't, there are plenty of people in the room that will help you present it. Well, look, if you want to tweak this, if you want to tweak that. So in conclusion, think hard and plan how you can grow your contacts, cement relationships, and they lead, in some cases, to lifelong friends. Just a quick one. Hands up who's done business with people in the room. Just hold the hands up. That's what it's all about. Now, it's not all loves and hugs and kisses. What would you like to see introduced into it? We can always improve. The only constant is change.
One of the things that seems to be a bit commonplace in all groups is, whether you're new or old, some people are really scared to ask for advice. There is literally, and you touched on it earlier, there's a room full of people here that can help you in every aspect of your business. And they're not out to go, well, here's the bill at the end of it.
And, to follow on the whole alliance thing, I think we have around 8 or 9 photographers in the group now. And when I sit down and talk to the men and women who are there in my industry, none of us do the same thing. If you are looking for a specialist, you're going to find them. If I'm having a problem with something, I'd give the likes of Peter Oliver a call and say, mate, I've been doing this, you got any questions? Help me. So it's helpful to be within your own industry.
What FOR enables you to do is build your own organisational chart from within the group. And really, Ed talks about a lot that givers get. And if you build your organisational chart, and if you drew one up as an exercise, you probably find you fill most seats. Like I used to do the HR seat, the marketing seat, the accounts, the sales, so on and so forth. But now with FOR, I can plug Karen in for my HR person. I've got financial advisor from George. Got Ed in my marketing team. Got business advisors like Ralph who come. Even though I don't buy a house off Ralph. He adds a lot of value to my business, and I hope I do the same to him. And that's what I think FOR is about. It's that givers get and working with each other. If you've got $1 to spend it within the group because you're going to spend it anyway. But guess what? You get a return on your investment.
I realised when I joined FOR and the fun I was having and the people that I was meeting that my life had changed.
I've been around a long time. I'm one of the elder ones here. I had the fortune to catch up with 2 of my mates of 20 odd years ago, a couple of 3 months ago. But the problem was, after about 2 hours, we had nothing to talk about because these guys had retired. And this is what I want to thank FOR Networking to keep me. My attitude to life is 20 years younger than what I actually am, and it's bloody good. Thank you very much, FOR Networking.
There are many, many actionable tips in the presentations that you've just seen. Well, as you can see, I'm in a little video studio here, and I make videos and marketing videos, and videos are probably the next best step if you can't get face-to-face in front of people. I have a studio here that you can bring your own video camera into, and you can sit just like I am and have a chat to your customers. So please feel free to get in contact with me or to sign up for some of my other business tips that we've got on various aspects of online marketing and video production.
Brown Cow Media. Results oriented, cutting edge online marketing for your business.